Well, Rita, the big story over the weekend was, of course, the killing of Hezbollah leader Nasrallah. Now, at first, no one was sure if he was dead or if he was bombed. An extraordinary story. I'll be talking later about Benjamin Netanyahu's speech and Penny Wong's speech. We won't go into that quite yet. Penny Wong's speech and Netanyahu's speeches at the United Nations. But what happened immediately after, and people are saying all sorts of things, was the United Nations speech a decoy while the bombing happened? But immediately after, Nasrallah was killed in those bombings of Hezbollah. What did you make of it?
Well, it looks like it was all very much coordinated, and Netanyahu's appearance in New York was to give them the impression that perhaps they were focused on other areas. Nothing was going to happen for that period, and that is precisely when they struck. So that in itself is fascinating. But they are cleaning up shop here. They do not want to leave terror groups whose sole goal is the elimination of the only Jewish state in the world to exist. So why go through what we're going through right now and leave Hamas, Hezbollah remaining just to launch the next October 7 and the one after it and the one after it. So I can understand entirely the strategy, and it doesn't help when you've got the US wavering, you've got Australia, which is supposed to be a staunch ally of Israel, saying we need a ceasefire and we can't have this aggression continue. This aggression is in response to, hundreds of rockets flying across into Israel, and we would have such enormous casualties if Israel wasn't able to defend itself so well. And that's something that is overlooked when we talk about it in this country.
Well, it astonishes me because Penny Wong made a complete fool of herself, in my opinion, at the United Nations, and carried on doing so this morning on Sky, in my opinion. With this undergraduate...
I think we can assume everything you say, Rowan, is your opinion.
It's an opinion show.
It's an opinion show.
Dang, I knew it was different to the others. It's an opinion show.
It's even on the screen.
Thank you for reminding me, Rita. Good, excellent. So I won't need to qualify that any longer. But my point was that here we have the Australian Foreign Minister making this kind of undergraduate... I mean, I don't think Penny Wong's thinking has moved since she was at the University of South Australia or Adelaide or whatever it was back in the 1970s or 80s. She's still in this idea of this, the two-state solution, and she's banging on about, Israel's got to abide by the rules and all this sort of stuff. Let me tell you, Rita, there has not been a military force on this planet ever since the first Og picked up a spear or a club and hit his mate over the head with it. There has never been an army on this planet, a military force that has treated civilians with such care, gone out of its way to such an extent, used the full strength of its intelligence and its technology to ensure that civilian casualties are kept to an absolute minimum. There's never been a better ratio, Rita, between killing the genuine enemy, the terrorists, and not killing civilians. And Israel can rightly be proud of that. Yet we've got Penny Wong prancing around New York, prancing around, talking about, Israel's got to abide by the rules. They've got to do this, they've got to do that. They are abiding by the rules better than anyone has ever abided by them before, Rita, in my opinion.